Trenton 365 with Jacques Howard. Profiling the businesses, organizations, and people that make Trenton better.
You know what the easy thing that's already set up?
Hello, friend, and welcome to the Trenton 365 show. I'm your host, Jacques Howard. You're listening over WIMG 1300, New Jersey's oldest radio station, and the 3-time Stellar Award-winning station as well. You can follow WIMG 1300 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're watching, it's over WPHY Channel 25, covering Mercer County, New Jersey, through the Verizon Fios network. And you can find Trenton 365 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well, with a handle at Trenton 365. You can send me an email, Trenton, the numbers 365 show at gmail.com. So tonight we're going to start off with some technological information for the folks who are in the listening and viewing audience. I have in the studio with me Lifebridge Technology and Enrichment Centers, and I've got the two co-executive directors, Leon Crawford Jr. and Jamel Krike, and we're going to be talking about the services that they offer, the programs and the education, etc. But we're going to talk a bit about who they are personally, and then we'll jump right into that. So without any further ado, gentlemen, welcome to the Trenton 365 show. And whichever of one of you wants to go first, why don't you introduce yourself and then tell us where you're from and what brought you into this whole technology and enrichment centers idea.
Okay. Thank you for having us on.
Thank you.
You are so welcome.
I guess we're here mainly because we met you, or I met you a couple of weeks ago at the Black History program. My name is Leon Crawford.
There we go.
Jr. Jamel and I, we attend church together, Grant Chapel African Methodist Episcopal Church, 261 Mercer Street. It's a miracle on Mercer Street. We're both attended college in North Carolina. I earned a computer science degree, and Jamel earned a
Electrical engineering.
And so we have a background in technology. Jamel still works in it. I work.
Okay.
I own a lot of technology, but Jamel and I together, we work together in technology. So a few years back, we while attending Grant Chapel, we still attend Grant Chapel. We came together and we started talking about some of the things that we wanted to do, because mainly we both have 2 young boys, and we started talking about some of the things that Jamel was seeing in his industry. And so with that, I'll let you talk a little bit.
So again, thanks for having us. And,
Sure.
And just to pick up where Leon left off, by all means, we were led by our pastor, our Reverend Bird, and he had been calling us to do something, and that's what pastors do, right? And I get that. But he wanted us to do something that it had been bugging me, it had been bugging Leon, and I've had this idea since about 2008. And God has a way of hitting you upside the head and making you take what he has put in front of you.
Some harder than others.
Exactly, some harder than others. So, and out of that, Lifebridge was born. Right, Lifebridge is a nonprofit that serves the greater Trenton community, because I was outraged. I was outraged that our libraries closed. I was outraged that people were cut off from electronic means of communication. That's vital in the world that we live in. Basic services, a shelter out of the rain, all the things a library serves in our community was taken away. And what bothered me the most was that as I went to work every day, I saw people throwing away computers. Now, my mama raised me a certain kind of way. And when you take what's thrown away and you repurpose for good, then I think that's that. So that's how Lifebridge was born, right? We took these computers that were basically thrown away and we repurposed them. We rebuilt them, and so that's kind of how it was born.
Mm-hmm. So I want to jump in there because, and both of you are from the region, like from Trenton area?
I didn't grow up here, but I have family roots here. I grew up in North Carolina.
Okay.
And hence I was able to attend North Carolina A&T State University,
Okay.
Aggie Pride.
Mm-hmm.
But I moved here in 1994 after I graduated with my degree in computer science. Hence, moving here because I had family ties here, like I said, and been here ever since.
Mm-hmm. Now, I was born and raised in Brooklyn, and I was born and lived in a place much like Trenton. And I went away to school. I was blessed enough to go to, some of the best schools in New York, magnet schools. I got a great education, world-class education, and then I went and got an engineering degree. But I've always wanted to run my own business. Mm-hmm. And so after working for a few companies, much to the chagrin of my lovely wife, I quit my job and started my own business and have been doing okay. But the interaction with the people that I work with, there was always this waste, this stuff being thrown away, and I wanted to recycle that waste. So tying it back to the vision of Lifebridge, I moved to Trenton in 2001, and I knew when I moved here that I wanted to be a part of the community and do something. I knew it from the onset. I get a lot of kickback from people from Trenton because I tell people all the time I love Trenton, and sometimes I get different responses from that, and you might imagine what those responses might be, but I love Trenton. Mm-hmm. I see so much good here. Mm-hmm. The people here are great. That they're part of my extended family and my community. So it's part of that where, again, Lifebridge was born. Because I've always wanted to help, and what my pastor kind of brought out of us was give of your talents. Because I was thinking of other ways to try to give back. But I said, I do computers. I might as well just do what I already know. And then it kind of met this great need.
And I think that's where we are as a culture. I think more and more people are becoming the whole idea of a round peg and a square hole and vice versa. I think more people are starting to say, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this particular occupation, or why am I going to this school, etc.? And so I like to encourage folks to satisfy your soul. Because if you're spiritually in tune with what's going on in yourself, it's a lot easier to make that transition. And that's something that I had to do, but I had to be of the hard-headed portion where I had to have a physical ailment for God to say, hey, look, you need to stop doing this. I need you in a different direction. And I'm fortunate enough that I had enough support and have enough support around me, family, and obviously you do as well, both of you actually, where you can actually say, okay, look, I'm going to be doing something that's non-traditional, and then have that support of your family and your community, and then to actually be able to worship in a place where the pastor is encouraging you to satisfy your soul, to seek that spiritual guidance, to let the Holy Spirit lead you to the occupation that you should be going to, is also very critical. So kudos to your pastor. At first I thought maybe your pastor was Leon. Pastor Leon.
Right. But the folks back at church will get a love that.
Yeah, but the only reason why I say that is because I grew up with Pastor Bone Crusher. I know you listening over there, but that's what his nickname was when we were kids. But no, so I want to encourage you. Number one is for you to identify that. Number one, two, to be able to be in a community and in a space where you're getting that spiritual blessing and the support from it. So I'm talking with Leon Crawford Jr. and Jamel Krike of Lifebridge Technology and Enrichment Centers. The easiest way to find them is on the website, Lifebridge Tech, TEC.org, and there you can find out more information and details about what they do, etc. But before we come up on the first portion of the program where we're going to have a break, I'd like for you to talk a bit about, you touched on the upcycling or repurposing of computers and things that you found. Can you just share a bit about what the programming is that Lifebridge does?
So I'll start it off and then I'll let you follow up. So Lifebridge is a pretty simple organization, but has the ability to grow to be something pretty complex, and that's what I kind of love about it. If our main set of programming is technology training, right? That's what we do. What we spend most of our time doing. We teach classes at the church. We've taught classes at our church for seniors. We did a seniors class and a kids class. Basic computer usage. We also teach classes at the Trenton Public Library. usually 2 or 3 seasons out the year. So it's a February, a fall, winter, maybe a spring and a fall. Never a summer. I try to take the summers off, but and we teach basic computing classes, and we just started an advanced computing class. And anyone that completes 6 to 8 weeks of computer training takes home a free computer. Because remember, we started out saying, I repurposed these computers. What did I do with all of them? Another part of our organization is that we recycle computers. We take old computers that people were going to throw away. Those have value, and 20 or 30 of those together will turn out $100, $120, which goes back into the pot of paying for small supplies or things like that. So it pays to refurbish some of the computers, replace hard drives, screens, things like that. We've also done programming at the ETC out in East Trenton. So as you might see a pattern, right? We've had programs in West Trenton, we have programs in East Trenton, North Trenton. We're basically trying to replace the library, where the library system reach runs out. We need computing centers in each ward. So our goal is to set up a fully staffed and operating computing center in each ward to replace the ones we lost with the libraries.
I think that's a noble cause. I think it pains not only the three of us sitting here, but many, many others in Trenton, the fact that we only have one library that services the whole city. Right. So kudos to you.
The budget can't, respectively, at this point in the game, the budget can't handle it. But nonprofits like us can fill that gap.
Not the entire gap, but we do our best.
I'm trying. I would love to fill the entire gap if we, But talk about some of the grant stuff we do.
Oh well. Some of the grant stuff we've done, it's like you failed to mention, we did a program at the CYO a couple of summers ago.
Yes.
Where we had kids for, what was it, 4 to 6 weeks, I believe. Right. Where we taught them, we got grants to purchase video equipment, and we partnered with another nonprofit and had them come in and work with kids for several weeks, like I said.
Doing video production.
And
video
started editing. Scripting, writing their stories, and then do video.
And so that was pretty successful. We did that at the ETC and at the
as well as
at the CYO. But what's amazing is, shout out to Robert, wherever you are there, brother. Thank you. But what's amazing is that we're doing this with little or no money, right? You'd be amazed that what you can do with a small amount of grant funds. So shout out to I Am Trenton, shout out to Iron Horse Film, some of the other Men for Hope. These are all organizations we collaborated with grant buddies from, small grants from I Am Trenton.
All right, well, no, that's good. I mean, folks, if you have not seen or caught the glimpse of me, I'm always writing. I always have my pad, and it's full of stuff here, so I'm taking these notes. These interviews are always good for me as well, not only to get to know the people who are doing amazing things in the city and connecting with them, but it's also good for me to expand my knowledge as well. You're listening and watching the Trenton 365 show. Segment number 1, I've got Lifebridge Technology and Enrichment Centers in the studio, Leon Crawford Jr. and Jamel Krike, right? Yeah, Krike. And they're the two co-executive directors, and we're talking about the organization as a whole. We touched a bit about some of their programming and what they've done to come to this point, but we're going to get into more meat and potatoes after the short break. You're listening and watching the Trenton 365 show, and we'll be back after that break.
You bear will become the greatest of men.
From the network that brought you the Bible,
there has been talk about Jesus. They say he's healing the sick.
Comes the life of Jesus Christ.
His preaching is what concerns me.
He's helping people.
From those who knew him best.
We are his followers. We've seen him do wondrous things.
I am the resurrection and the life.
Jesus, his life. Monday at 8 on History.
Need a truck to move? Let Justin's Rental of Selman's BP save the day. Justin's has the right trucks for all commercial and residential moves. Justin's has the moving supplies and boxes available. Justin's Rental at Selman's BP has everything you need for your move at affordable prices, featuring the best in pickup trucks, 10 and 15-foot box trucks, and vans. Justin's Rental at Selman's BP is located at 2596 South Broad Street, across from the McDonald's in Hamilton. For your rental truck needs, call 609-888-3327. That's 609-888-3327. Justin's Rental at Selman's BP. If you are moving, we have the trucks to meet your moving needs.
Welcome back to the Trenton 365 show. You can send me an email, Trenton365, that's the numbers, show@gmail.com. You can also post your events to the Trenton 365 community calendar page on Facebook as well. So I have in the studio with me, again, I'm holding up the card here, Lifebridge Technology and Enrichment Centers, the two co-executive directors, Leon Crawford Jr., who's on your camera to the left, and Jamel Krike. And we've been talking a bit about the organization, how it came to pass. For the most part, I mean, summarizing it, you have two men who've known each other for some time, some college roots, right? And then now you're connected here in Trenton. You worship together at the trying to figure out how you can get more involved and engaged in what's happening here in the city. Also with the guidance of your pastor. You guys came up with this wonderful idea of Lifebridge Technology and Enrichment Centers, and you're dealing with, from what I can understand, not only things dealing with computers, but technology as a whole. And I say that, Leon, because when we did the African American History Bowl, you were there with your camera and with your son, who was on camera as well. You guys are actually documenting this event. So I'd like for you to start off and share a bit about, your passion for videography and documentation with photography.
Well, thank you. I've always had a passion for technology. I guess mainly because when I was growing up, I remember seeing my cousins. They got their first computer, which was a Apple IIe, I believe. And I didn't have that in my house, but I was always there. And so when I grew up and was able to get my own money to purchase my own computer, I did just that. And eventually I went back to school after being in the Marine Corps. Went back to school, earned my degree in computer science, but I has always have a love for technology. So I started to invest in. Well, I started seeing things happening, like folks taking pictures. I'm like, I can do that, and I'm doing that. I've made purchases. I think I made my wife sick when I first made my first purchase of a SLR camera. And I paid $600 for that. And now I really don't even want to tell you the cost of the video cameras that I made, because she doesn't even know the cost. It's just all of a sudden, well, no, I'm not going to quote that. But my point is, I do love technology. I'm into videography. I try to teach my kids about it. It's one of the programs that we have going on with Lifebridge. I believe that, if you don't smoke, you don't drink, and you don't give your money to other people's women, then you can afford these things. And that's what I do. I invest in technology. I have two sons at home. I want them to learn it, even if they don't. I just want them to have the skill and the knowledge to be able to use technology, so that they can use it to. For me, they can use it to be entertained, or they can use it as a vocation.
Well, I'd like to always look at what technology does nowadays. Is we're actually documenting and creating history.
Oh yes.
And for so long, people of color, particularly African Americans here in America, our history was always told through the lens of someone else. Even if it was told over stories or was written, that was always controlled by a different population, right?
Exactly right.
So with Trenton 365, what I do, and people question, you know, why do you always taking pictures? Why are you always showing where you are? It's because I want to make it very clear that the person that I am, these are the things that I'm doing. And once it goes into the digital world, you both know this, it's always there. So as I continue to progress as a person and continue to develop who I am, this persona or this brand, that is always there. That's content. The blessing that I have is that content is free to me. Like, I have it coming to me all the time. It's how do you monetize that and how do you get it out to the right people. So for the young people, like the interns and things that I have here, I'm always encouraging them to do the same thing as well, because this is an opportunity now with the mobile devices, with cameras, videos. You are literally creating a history. Now, it's fun to do the fun stuff, but we need people to tell the real stories and perspectives as well. And one of the things that I'm seeing, and we'll get into it in 1 second, one of the things that I'm really seeing now is that more nonprofits and independent media outlets are more interested in those types of stories, because the big budget corporations, even local, Philadelphia and New York media outlets, they're not coming to Trenton.
Right.
Unless something really sensational happens. And generally when that happens, they're just coming for a hot minute.
Right.
But they need content from people at the local level. So what you're doing with capturing and documenting, you're creating a digital history, which is also going to help us going forward as a culture, in my opinion.
Right, absolutely. You know, you bring up a point which is a powerful point, and it's a good jumping off point. It's the socialization of the technology is one silo of opportunity, right? It's the socialization. However, all of that technology, the same technology, could be used for so many other different types of things. So that same smartphone that you're using to make a turn-up video, which I enjoy a turn-up video just as much as the mumble rap, I love all of it, right? It's music, it's expression. However, we could also do a video on, my son dissected an earthworm today, right? Teaching him how to, film, record, edit that is a skill. And that's a skill that people would donate to teach other people, adults, kids, for free. People would donate their time and energy. With that skill, you can change lives. When I started this program, when we started Lifebridge, I say I a lot because I'm just in my head.
Because he does a lot of the talking.
I do a lot of talking, right, and he does a lot of the work. So there you go. What happens is that the technology can be used, and if we can tap into it, if we can teach them the right pieces of the technology and turn it into skills. When I first started this, we had Obamacare was just being unveiled. There were people that couldn't access it through the phone. With a computer, that changed their life, right? It changed their access to literal life, health, right? And I love the classes at the library because it's an amazing thing that I noticed, right? I'll get 10 people from all walks of life to sign up for a free computer class, and everybody there is there to get something. And once they get the thing that they came for, they check out. They immediately check out. And that's not a bad thing. I let them check out because they're going to finish that thing that they want to do. One lady needed to register her kid for school but didn't know how to get on the webpage. Or one guy wanted to look for jobs but he didn't have an email address. And once I got to the point in the class where I taught email addresses, you could hear him back in his computer, ding, 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 because he's getting job offers. He's replying to emails. I like to think it's changing lives. You can do that with the access to technology. And so think about, for the people that don't have access to it, it's like a drought. It's like a famine. There is a such thing as a technology famine in our neighborhoods. And we can bridge that gap with stuff that people throw away. And that's the blessing. Stuff that people don't want. I got a donation from a law firm in New Brunswick. 10, brand new computers, but for whatever reason, they have to cycle them out. We'll take that and we'll put it in a home so a kid can do their homework, right? Or mom could look up how to curl her hair or something on YouTube. It doesn't matter what it is, but that technology enriches their lives.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the needs that Lifebridge Technology and Enrichment Centers needs?
We need money.
Always.
Money. I mean, it's as simple as that. I've worked with, we all need money. So here's the problem with the nonprofit game in Trenton, and I'm about to, set some hair on fire. But the nonprofit game is only meant for the people that know how to get money to continue to get that same money. So when somebody like us comes along that has a great idea, but and great connections in the community, we don't have the access to the funds to make impact.
The struggle is real.
So the struggle is real. Now, but you'll be amazed at what sort of access you can change with $5,000 grant or a $3,000 grant. And with some accounting principles, with some business management principles, with some, compliance type, when you get this grant money, you have to account for how it's spent. With those sort of principles, we can train 10 or 12 nonprofits from this area to be able to go after a $50,000 grant. So 10 organizations getting $50,000 each, that's $500,000 pumped into our community, into our playgrounds, last summer we cleaned up playgrounds all over Trenton with the Trenton grant, with the I Am Trenton grant. We had basketball leagues last summer. We had a parade. We did the film classes. I mean, there's a lot going on in Trenton.
Yeah,
and we've even supported a basketball league for a couple of years.
Yeah, so you were talking about setting some hair on fire. I mean, but I think the most folks who spend time with me know that my thoughts are not just the top layer, like the topsoil. I want to go down. Okay. I want to go down deep, and the nonprofits, the amount of nonprofits that we have here in Trenton, have led me to believe that our economy here in the city of Trenton is poverty. And when you have an economy that's based upon poverty, in my opinion, there's really no way for that to develop and progress and improve, because you have so many people who are trying to get the same amount of money. This is one of the wealthiest counties in the country. The money is here. There's plenty of money here. It's the particular type of access. And as you so eloquently mentioned, the nonprofits, a lot of them they act as gatekeepers, preventing certain ones from getting funds and then others in partnership, etc. But what I believe the next model is, and I say this because I believe a lot of the larger nonprofits are recognizing that this is becoming more and more difficult to maintain. The status as a large nonprofit. So there's a need for partnerships and collaborations. Yes, and
you need people on the front line. So here's the thing about the Trenton nonprofits, and this is what I love about Howard's Health and Choices or Men for Hope or Iron Horse Films, that we're on the front line. And so when you get the money to the front line, there's the most good. No diss to Boys and Girls Club, none of that stuff. But sometimes, even at the Boys and Girls Club, you still have to pay a $100 fee to get into a program, and there's nothing wrong with that. They have operational expenses like anybody else. However, what about the kids that don't have any money, right? And if we can serve them, then I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Well, I know that's a conversation for another time. Will you guys come back later on, and we can talk a bit more detail, and not only talk about this, but we can design and come up with a plan. We can design and come up with a plan to help satisfy some of the goals and needs that the organization Lifebridge Technology and Enrichment Centers has, along with some of the passion. I mean, that we all feel the same way here. We need to have more access to the internet, computers. We need libraries, and we have to address some of the social ills that are plaguing people here in the city of Trenton and beyond. Because again, less than 7.5 square miles. There's no reason why we can't make a major impact on culture and society. I appreciate you both coming in, and I promise that you'll come back again, though, right?
Thanks for having us.
All right, my pleasure. You've been listening and watching the Trenton 365 show. Segment 1 is done. I encourage you to check out Lifebridge Technology and Enrichment Centers. The website is lifebridgetech.com. Tech, and that's TEC like Charlie.org, lifebridgetech.org, and follow up with them. They'll be back at another time. I'd say within 2 months, I'll have them back on the show. You're listening and watching the Trenton 365 show, and we'll be back after a short break.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled, even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Don't wait until it's too late. Call now and get peace of mind for you and your family. Call 800-340-1290. 800-340-1290. 800-340-1290. 800-340-1290.
Good energy fills me. I feel the love. I know it's not me, it's from above. I'm overflowing. I feel the good. It's something on me strongly. If you feel me, everybody throw your hands up and say, His blessings on me. I feel the grace. I don't deserve it. It's just his pace. I'm aerial surfing, gone with the wind. His hand is on me. If you agree, can't explain it.
And welcome back to the Trenton 365 show. I'm your host, Jacques Howard. You're listening over WIMG 1300. You can follow us on social media platforms, WIMG 1300. The Trenton 365 show has a Facebook page, Trenton 365 that is. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. And you can post events like the one we're going to be talking about in this segment to the Trenton 365 community calendar page. In the studio with me, I have Enocan Martin of Enocan Fitness, and most of y'all probably know her. And also have Tony Jackson, who is from Trust by Tony and Keisha, and they've got some very interesting news to share tonight. So, lady and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming in. What are you doing? Okay, man, look. This isn't a promotional spot for your sponsors, man. Come on, man. All right, so anyway, let's get back into this. We can stop the Instagram and Facebook Live, and let's get on this.
Okay.
So we got Tony Jackson and Enocan Martin. So welcome back to the program.
Thank you so much, Jock. Appreciate you for having us.
Absolutely, yeah. And, I appreciate and love you both, too, very much. So there's been this buzz in the city for a little while. And not only is it about, what Enocan Fitness is doing and what Trust by Tony and Keisha are doing, which you guys have obviously represented here today in your apparel, but there's some really good news coming down the pike here about some this wonderful event that the two of you have been working on. So who wants to talk about that?
All right, I'll start off. Yep. First of all, again, thank you so much for having us to be here and allowing us to have this time on your platform to talk about this amazing event that's coming up that we've pinned as the title as the second day of summer. And that's kind of the nostalgic word that's going around. What's happening on the second day of summer?
Yes.
Well, that date is June 22nd. It's actually the second day of summer, and we're so excited that we're having a community event that's going to build partnerships. We're going to do networking. We're going to have entertainment, amazing fun things for the children, all while building new leaders, and upcoming educational things that we're going to have for this program in the city of Trenton. Mm-hmm. So we're so excited about it.
It sort of sounds like this is the Heritage Days kind of.
Yeah, you know what is so funny? We hadn't thought about that initially, but the more and more things that started to come alive with it, we started to say, wow, this is kind of gearing towards the Heritage Days. And we're excited about that because Heritage Days for us was so amazing. We loved it back in the day, so we're glad that people are saying that because we remember those as good days.
Mm-hmm. When we think about Heritage Days, that was like the precursor to festivals, right? So, when we think about now, like people go to Afro Punk and they go to these different events, Heritage Days was like that.
That's right.
And it was like, all of downtown Trenton. So talk about the collaboration, like how this kind of came up between the two of you. I know, like we've all known each other for I don't even want to say how long, but talk about how this collaboration came together. And I say that because oftentimes two successful people, it's sometimes difficult for two brands to come together and collaborate at like on an equal level.
Well, I'll just say this. When I was starting my business, when I was interested in, I think I've referenced Tony before when I've been here and throughout other outlets as well. But when I was interested in getting my brand up and running and possibly just starting a t-shirt line, I contacted Tony. Mm-hmm. And Tony was very gracious, and he basically taught me everything I know about my business, where to go, how to get it done, the mindset, everything, from the rooter to the tutor, I always say. And we've always been very, very good friends, very good friends. So his willingness to share everything, even some of his secrets, were like so humbling and so overwhelming. Like, it's unbelievable. And Tony and I have talked about this a lot, that we feel a lot of people will not help another person for the fear of that person getting further than them or being more successful. So with Tony, it was not like that. And same with Tony and all the other avenues of his life, and I as well. So this was basically Tony's brainchild. And I was just so honored that when he thought about partnering with someone, it was me. And it was only natural and very organic because, in a sense, we were already partners, because the reason why I am successful is because of this man right here. So,
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That is awesome to have a public testimony like that. Any thoughts you want to add to that?
I do want to add to it, and the irony here for me is that Enocan Martin has a great mind. And so she took what she learned and it blossomed for me very quickly. And so I've always been encouraged even by what Enocan is doing now. She knows that, I'm like, wow, you're doing so amazing. And she really is with everything that she's doing with this brand. So for me, when I decided that I wanted to partner with someone, because I know she has a great mind. She's I call a get it done person, right? She was the first person that came to my mind. Enocan was, because I know that she takes something, we run with it, and we make it happen. And that's what we're doing with the second of summer. We have this vision. I gave her what the vision was, which is very different actually than what it is now. And Enocan, with her great thinking, started to say, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? And there were amazing ideas, and that's why we're doing a lot of the things that we're doing now, because of Enocan.
Well, I want to give you both credit, because you both have wonderful mindsets, and you're both great entrepreneurs, and you're beacons here in the community and for many, many other people in your respective fields, and also in fashion as well. I mean, there's plenty of people, you know, who talk to me about the work and things that you guys are doing, and you're doing a fantastic job. So take the credit for that too, and be encouraged, and know that you're welcome. You've got plenty of supporters around and people who love what you both are doing. So, you know, you both have touched on this being a collaboration, a community event, a networking event, like really trying to focus on bringing people together. Why is that so important right now?
For me, it's so important because having a brand and realizing that it takes so many different avenues to run a brand and so many people to run it in order for it to be successful. There's no way to have an event like we're trying to have now and not build partnerships, because we know that trying to do it on our own is just not the way to do it. And so just like I shared things with her with, you know, as far as my brand was concerned, we've got to connect ourselves to people in order for all of us to go up. You know, and so that's what I truly believe, and that's what we're doing with this event. We're trying to connect and partner with as many people as we can to let everyone shine, but for the betterment of the city, and the betterment of all of us. Yeah.
Cohen, you want to add to that?
No, I totally agree on what Tony was saying, and oftentimes we just hear about other brands, vendors, businesses. You know, they say we're like crabs in a barrel, that one will typically try to hold the other one down or shed negativity upon someone's brand. I too have been, you know, unfortunately has had that happen to me. So, you know, our mindset is like, why does it have to be like that? What is for you is for you. And why can't we all be successful? And why can't we all support each other and just be one community, you know, where we support the other and uplift the other? So that's what it's about. It's all about positivity and some educational. We're going to have fun. We're going to have a party. You know, we have a lot of great things in store, and we are talking about from everyone. We are thinking about our kids all the way up to our seniors. So, so we think it's going to be really, really special. And with our latest partner, it just has really escalated. Do you want to say it? Go ahead.
Sure.
You say it.
So we are super, super proud and very humble that the mayor, Reed Gusiora, and the city of Trenton is partnering with the Second Day of Summer event. Can we just... I couldn't hold that in. You know, I'm really grateful and I'm really thankful, because this is really what it's all about. You know, Heritage Days, there used to be tons of different businesses, you know, blocked off the streets, and everyone came together. And this is what we're trying to establish, that, hey, it's just us who are maybe creating this, but it's for all of us. You know, it's for everyone. So we are compelling people to really get on board with this so that we can all do it together.
And we still need a lot of help. And we still, so everyone, please contact us. We still need vendors. We want food trucks. We want DJs. We want entertainment. So we need volunteers. So we are still asking people to come forward, because our vision is we want you to come forward and partner with us. And we've already been blessed with so many people who are giving their time, their talent, their resources, their knowledge. So that's what this event is all about. Tony and I say it every time, we are not profiting from this event. It is not about putting money in our pockets. It's so important for us to stress. We keep reiterating it, but it's about the community and everyone coming together and helping us for a successful event. So.
You know, I want to back up a little bit, but that's fantastic. For those of you who are listening to the viewing audience who don't know the crab theory, when you have live crabs, you ever notice, like in a market, there's never usually a cover on them. And that's because when one crab tries to get out of the basket or barrel, the other crabs will pull them back. Oftentimes you'll hear that prescribed or aligned with people of color, meaning that there's no support from within. So that's why when you hear people talk about the crab theory, that's what we're talking about. And unfortunately, it is one of those theories that's very true. And I'm sure it's probably by design, but it's important for us. It's important for us to try to change that. So I've got Enocan Martin from Enocan Fitness and Tony Jackson from Trust by Tony and Keisha, who are in the studio. We're talking about the second day of summer, which is an event that's going to be happening on Father's Day weekend, the Saturday on Father's Day weekend. It's all over social media, Instagram, Facebook. Is it on Twitter as well?
Not on Twitter yet.
Not on Twitter. We don't even need Twitter, do we?
Right.
We don't need no Twitter. We got
Instagram,
Facebook. We got Facebook and Instagram where you can find out. And we're gonna get that in a second.
365 now.
But these guys crack me up. You guys are crazy. Second day of summer is going to be happening Father's Day weekend. That's Saturday. We're going to get into a lot of the details. We're going to even throw out some names of some people who are already signed on, food trucks, vendors, performing artists. But the cat has been let out of the bag. This event is being supported by the city of Trenton, specifically Mayor Reed Gussie Orr himself. You're listening and watching the Trenton 365 show. We'll be back after a short break.
Violence serves no purpose.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled, even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Don't wait until it's too late. Call now and get peace of mind for you and your family. Call 800-340-1290. 800-340-1290. 800-340-1290. 800-340-1290.
And welcome back to the Trenton 365 show. You know, when you hang out with friends in the studio, you know, sometimes you got to kind of reel them back in. But there's a lot of energy going on in here right now. We got Enocan Martin of Enocan Fitness and Tony Jackson of Trust by Tony and Keisha. And we're talking about this event that they're collaborating on to spearhead the second day of summer, which is going to take place on Father's Day weekend. And we're going to have them talk about the details about the location. But folks, there's an Instagram page, there's a Facebook page. They are asking now, early on, if you want to be a part of this, you want to volunteer, you want to vend, you have a food truck, you want to help out with children, you want to be in a VIP section, maybe you got some goods or products that you want to donate for people to try and sample. This is a great opportunity for you to get involved with that. So back over to you. Let's talk about the date and the times and the location.
Yep. So the date is June 22nd. That's this year, obviously. That is the second day of summer. It's from 12 to 5 p.m. 12 to 5 p.m. And it's going to be held at the Trenton Housing Authority Community Center. And it's going to be indoor and outdoor. And we're just so excited to announce that the mayor let us know that he's going to block off the streets right around the community center. So we're not only just going to be inside the gym with a stage inside, but we're also going to be outside with the street blocked off where they're going to have the mayor's going to supply the fire trucks and the sound stage for the City of Trenton sound stage, and we're going to have a party while having a great time, while learning, educating ourselves, networking, and building partnerships all in one day.
Mm-hmm. Now, for folks who don't know where the Trenton Housing Authority location is that we're talking about, can you tell them?
The address, I can't remember off the top of my head. Do you know?
875 New Willow Street.
There you go. That's
875 New Willow Street. Now, give folks some landmarks, because, there's people who've been living in Trenton all their life but can't tell you the name of a street.
Sure.
That's just normal. So what's some landmarks?
Right across the street from Grace Cathedral Church, which is right on Calhoun Street. It's directly across the street from Grace Cathedral Church.
Mm-hmm. And a block or two from the former City Gardens site, for those of you who understand that as well.
There you go. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So 12 to 5 on Saturday, June 22nd. And I'll let you tell. What are you looking for? What can people help out with? Because I know there's people in the listening and viewing audience who are like, I remember Heritage Days, or I wanted to get involved. I live in that neighborhood. I want to be a part of this.
Everything. Like we said, we still need vendors. If you're a vendor, if you're a food truck, if you have an organization, or if you're a speaker, and you want a platform to speak or teach the community or talk about your organization, we want you. We have fitness people coming in to do a demonstration. We have a line dancer coming in to put on a show. We have roller skaters. Shout out to the roller skaters within the city of Trenton.
Yes.
We have the best roller skaters.
Nicole loves the roller skate.
I love the roller skaters. We recruited a team, so you're going to see roller skaters and roller bladers skating just around the event. We just have so much stuff going on.
Yeah.
So we're asking for more DJs to step up. We need a team. The most important thing right now is we need a team, because we have broken it down into different committees. We have a VIP committee, we have an entertainment committee, we have a vendor committee,
a youth committee
Yes.
for the children's area. Yeah, so we definitely need volunteers as well. Besides the things that Enocan mentioned, we need volunteers to help us with things like planning. We want to make sure our guests are having a great experience. So we need hostesses and hosts. We need people to be hosts in our VIP section. We need people to just go around and make sure that things are in place and people have what they need. When you put on an event like this, Jock, there's so many things that are the unforeseen sometimes, specifically because this is our first time doing this. And so that's why we are also asking people if they have ideas or thought processes. Please reach out to us and say, hey guys, just want to mention, don't forget to do this. Maybe there's things that we've already thought about and maybe there aren't, but we need to know so that we can try to make sure that we facilitate an event that is as close to greatness as possible. And it takes great minds. It takes everybody's mind. What I don't want to happen, Jacques, honestly, is for us to do this event and then people come after and say, well, they should have did this, or they should have did this, or why didn't they have this? Why didn't they have security, and why didn't they do this? Well, we're months in advance. Please reach out to us. Give us your ideas, give us your thought processes so that we can put people and things in place so that we can make this event as close to great for all of us.
And I love the fact that you said that, and I think that that's a testimony to who both of you are.
Yeah.
The fact that you're publicly saying, hey, look, we're doing this, but we're not doing this as a showcase for us or to highlight us.
Not.
It's all about the community. And the fact that you're even asking people at this stage of the event to come and be a part of this, to share your thoughts, your concerns, that to me is brilliant. So for those of you who are in the listening and viewing audience, just like Tony said, they're not looking for people to come back after the event and say, well, I would have done this, or they should have done that. Now is a perfect time for you to get involved in this very specifically a communal event. An event where you want everybody in the city to come out. You've made it clear that it's for the whole family, for the children all the way up to our seasoned population. The city of Trenton has already signed on, so that right there ought to trigger a lot of people to be excited about it, because that also means that if the city's going to be signing on to it, there's going to be a certain level of comfort. There's going to be a certain level of security that's going to be taken care of as well. So this is an opportunity, especially in this part of the city, where a lot of people who are visitors may not get a chance to go to this section of the city. And in the past, people probably came in all the time to go to City Gardens and then leave the city. Well, now you can come into the area, the same area, and get a different perspective for it. So is this a rain or shine event?
It is. It's rain or shine, and that's why, we're gracious that we have the indoor facility. So a portion, obviously, are going to be some vending outside and some inside. But in case it does rain, we're going to try to house everything as we can on the inside. Now, of course, we're going to have some tents out there as well. So we will have people under tents. But this is a rain or shine event. I just want to, if I can, just kind of shift this.
Sure,
okay?
yeah.
And just talk about another partner that we're so excited about and honored to have, and that's the Capital City YMCA and Mr. Sam Frisbee. We're so honored that they came on board to assist us as well. We have TC from the Trenton Social. We're going to have amazing Thursday before party. What date is that? June 20th to kick off this day. So we're so happy and excited that TC came on board. We have St. Francis Hospital who are going to come out, and they're going to do screenings for the seniors or whoever wants to, get their blood pressure checked, and they're going to set up tables and things of that nature so that they can check, what did I say, the blood work?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
I did.
Yes.
Yeah, do that. Yep, and this is important to me too, Jacques, and I just want to express this. When Enocan and I first talked about this and we were going to decide to go live and start telling people about it, we had some folks who caught the vision right away. And sometimes I know that it takes people time to say, hey, are they serious? What's really going to happen? So sometimes I get it, it takes time for people to really say, hey, okay, no problem, I want to be a part. But we have had some people to, right from the beginning, give us a call and say, I'm with you. Mm-hmm. And one of those people we're excited about, who happens to be one of our headliners, and we're going to have several headliners. So we do have one so far, which is Grace Little. And she's a Trentonian who's been doing, yay, Grace, who's been doing entertainment in the city. So we're so excited that she reached out to us just to say, hey, Tony, I believe in what you and Enocan are doing, and I want to be a part of this.
That was huge.
Yeah, and I want to just compel again to those who may be listening and or watching. We want you to be a part, and we need you to be a part. Just because one person is doing this and another person is doing that, don't say, hey, they already have that, so I'm not needed. We want everybody. 5 hours, we can fit everybody in. And so I'm so excited that we've had these folks so far come to us and actually say, we want to be a part of your event.
Now, contact information.
Yep. Okay, so our Instagram page is SDOS19. So that's at SDOS19 on Instagram. On Facebook, it's Trust Enocan. And our email, if you want to contact us, is sdos2019@gmail.com.
SDOS.
Yep. It's like second day
2019
of summer. Yep. SDOS.
At Gmail.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So, folks, I'll make sure that all this contact information along with this audio will be up on the Trenton 365 social media pages. But again, I'm encouraging you. This is an opportunity for each and every person who wants to be a part of a communal event by some amazingly lovely, warm-hearted, spiritually talented, and gifted people who are coordinating this. This is an opportunity for you to get involved and for you to be a part of this. And again, like Tony so eloquently put, don't come at the end of the event and say they should have done this or they could have done this. Speak up right now.
Great.
Rarely do you get opportunities to be involved in something that has the capability of being like extraordinary ahead of time. And although you're both very creative, you both are very interested in getting as many people involved as possible.
There's no way for us to think about everything that needs to be done. I mean, there may be someone who was on the Heritage Day staff back in the day that says, don't forget you need this, or don't forget you need that. And it's so important for us to try to be, I keep using the word great because I believe that that's what this is ordained to be, a great day in the city and for the city. But, we need the support and we need the help and the brains of the people who know how to do things, right? Come team with us and a partner with us.
Fabulous. So we're about into the show. Any last words you want to say?
You know what? I want to, can you give a shout out to some of these folks?
Sure.
We have some folks that are already on board. Can we shout them out?
Okay, so we'll just shout out some vendors really quickly. So Kenya Gilliam, Paparazzi Jewelry, shout out to Frugal But Fly, Designs by Letty, Genetry Gourmet, Messy Closets, 1911 Smokehouse. We have Injiri Grubs with our detox smoothies. We have Rachel with a smoothie truck. Betty's pop-up shop. Tony's aunt, right? We have Katie. Anna Terry Hegerman with Life and Family Guidance. We have Brownstone Books. We have Ruck Men's Fashion. We have Big Sid's Southern Cuisine. We have a henna tattoo artist coming. His music, her hands. We have Stormy Raps, and it keeps going and going.
Matt Story's Diner.
Yes. We can't even list them all, but that's just what's right in front of me. So it keeps growing.
And just like that, we got to finish up the program. Enocan Martin and Tony Jackson, we were talking about, you're welcome, second day of summer 2019, happening June 22nd. More information be available on the Trenton 365 social media outlets. Have a great week.
We love you, WIMG.